The Super Mario 64 1995 beta build is not any ordinary video game beta. There is a reason why it's widely inaccessible to the general public. I am personally obligated to inform you if you come across a copy of Super Mario 64 that has any indication it is from 1995, you must either 1. Dispose of it, or 2. Report it to the authorities. Whatever you do, do not play the game. Super Mario 64 is a game that appears to be your average Nintendo game on the surface, but as you may come to know, it's anything but that. From the very basic beliefs of Luigi being playable, all the way to a room that appears when it wants, Super Mario 64 has a lot going on. The community built around Super Mario 64 creates stories and mysteries that are most likely works of fiction, but are built to be believable and realistic. One of these mysteries is Super Mario 95, the Super Mario 64 1995 build. There are thousands of stories from different people, all explaining their own experiences with Super Mario 64. It is believed that every single copy of Super Mario 64 is personalized, as in each individual copy is different, so every player can have a unique experience. This slightly alters the game to suit the player who's playing it, which is why some players report that there's something off when playing someone else's copy. Shigeru Miyamoto himself is on the record of saying in an interview about SM64 that the game always changes with players playing. This could easily be a mistranslation or used to fit this specific narrative. This mechanic is known on the internet as the personalization AI, which was allegedly sold to Nintendo in 1995 by an unknown party. The AI made its debut in the 1995 build of Super Mario 64, a fun family game with a dark, sinister secret. In recent years, this theory has gained some attention. Multiple people have shared their experiences with the game, but some employees during that time have come out and spoken about their involvement and what they know. These people remain anonymous, since if something this wild was real, then I don't think they'd want their identities out there. The first account comes from a programmer, NP. They worked at Nintendo in 1995. They were part of the team that was handed the AI prototype Nintendo had purchased from the previously mentioned seller. NP and his team are tasked with cleaning up the prototype for the Ultra 64, which is now known as the N64. NP explains how this build had no resemblance to the fun, colorful Mario franchise. It instead was a rather desolate build. NP doesn't recall the appearance of the main character, but refers to them as looking instead simplistic, like a low-poly ordinary man. NP then begins to go into great detail about the basement. The basement was a lot darker in the 95 build and had very advanced fog for Nintendo 64 standards. According to NP, the basement acted as a testing ground for the personalization AI. They said it would track the player's cognitive desires and subvert them. He described this version of the basement as an endless labyrinth. One playtester whom the team neglected to check on before leaving the office, was still playing the game in a delirious and crazed state, roaming the basement for hours at the mercy of the AI. He was allegedly taken to the hospital shortly after being found, and later playtesters were urged not to enter the basement. Another account, this time it comes from the poster's family member, FM, was tasked with recording playability, functionality, bugs, etc. found in playtesting. They were hired to be part of a small temporary team. In an email FM sent to the poster, he makes it clear that he was just told what to copy down and wasn't allowed to ask any questions. In said email, he attached 3 test player logs. They each get more and more disturbing. Subject number: redacted. Date of test: 1995-08-02. Test duration: 20 minutes. Subject information: name, redacted. Date of birth, redacted. Sex, redacted. Problems found: the character did not appear in most gameplay. It only appeared for a short time and flashed rapidly. Subject number, redacted. Date of test: 1995-08-05. Test duration: 40 minutes. Problems found: character models that do not seem to exist in the file or hardware appeared and are interacting with the character unusually. Some have no history of epilepsy or similar conditions, but show signs of shock after witnessing the graphic bug at the end of the test. Subject number, redacted. Date of test: 1995-08-06. Test duration: 2 minutes. Problems found: confidential image found. Notes: subject immediately forced to stop. Confidential image found. Confidential image found. The July 29th, 1995 build of Super Mario 64, also known as the 1995-07-29 build, is an anomalous and mysterious build of Super Mario 64. It dates back to before the Ultra 64, the initial name for the Nintendo 64, was patented, making it perhaps the oldest piece of Nintendo 64 history. Because of the sensitive nature of the build's contents, research on the 1995-07-29 build of Super Mario 64 is highly discouraged. On April 7th, 2003, someone was supposedly in the possession of a Super Mario 95 copy. It is not confirmed it was a 1995 copy, but it definitely was developed around 1995 and somehow circles around to the player in 2003. It is rumored that there are some spots in the game where the code will be severely disturbed and possibly altered. These are known as loose disturbances. One of these disturbances is located on Bowser's steps. The contrast in color seems to drop drastically, and the game's audio is greatly distorted, giving off a very unsettling and uneasy atmosphere surrounding the stairs. The VHS's recording signal is abruptly cut off for around a minute. The second disturbance is located under the stairs leading to Bowser's stairs. The quality of the tape at this section is greatly reduced, and judging from the black lines at the top of the screenshot, it is possible that the game is messing with the video signal and has possibly changed the TV's hertz rate, which is not easily configured. In other words, a game made in 1995 should not be able to do that. The last disturbance shows Mario falling down into black, murky waters. He swims into an opening as the TV static blocks all visibility. As Mario swims into the opening, sharp, beeping tones can be heard. Now obviously this is a creepypasta, a story made to seem legitimate for those that stumble upon it. Putting all the creepy footage and real accounts from employees aside, the creepy truth about this is some people have genuinely noticed differences in Super Mario 64. They genuinely believe something is off or outright wrong in another copy. These people who claim to have seen these instances of personalization, we call them from their childhood, a time where the brain is still developing and memory can prove faulty. Memories also have the tendency to be muddled up with other memories. So for those who think they've seen something, they have not. The Super Mario 64 1995 beta is not real. Do not under any circumstances research the Super Mario 64 1995 beta. You have been advised and warned. Failure to comply will lead to you getting sent to the basement. This video was very traumatic and horrifying to research. 1 star, do not recommend. That's why I told you not to search it up. Definitely not making a creepy video because it's October or anything. There's no correlation there at all. Just a normal, completely real gaming mysteries case. Ignore that. That's not important. What is important is that you do not look up anything regarding the SM64 1995 build. Next week's video will show you exactly why you shouldn't. It will show Junior, I mean me, yes me, creating this video and the consequences that followed after. It'll release on, would you look at that? October 31st. What a coincidence. Anyways, the next Gaming Mysteries case will release on this date. My name is, Junior, and this has been Gaming Mysteries.